Hello and welcome to the Churchill Orchestra program. This video is to help with incoming freshman families and what to expect for the 2020-2021 school year. Making this video just in case we don't get to have our incoming freshman night. This first slide is the best way to get in touch with myself. My name is Jason Thibodeau and I'm the head orchestra director. There is my email and the extension to the office. Email is typically the best way to get in touch with me. We do have 2 phone lines in the office, but to be honest with you, we're not in our office very often. And certainly right now, the email address is the best way to get in touch with me. Here is the information for Mr. Norton. Mr. Norton is our Assistant Director of Orchestras. Next year will be his 3rd year at Churchill High School. And that is the extension to his phone on his desk. Probably one of the most important things about the transition into high school is staying informed. So this slide is just a couple of different ways that we distribute information to the kids. We do our very best not to hand out paper copies of too much. Everything is done digitally. So the first thing that we have is my teacher website. It's just a normal NEISD teacher website. And that is the main source of our distribution of information. So if you have a question or if a student has a question, that's their first place to go to find out what's going on. The next one is Google Classroom. To be honest with you, we are new to Google Classroom. We just started using this this past semester, and so I'm learning that as we go. That is the classroom code. So if you would like for your kids to go in there and kind of check things out, you are more than welcome to. The next thing is Charms account. Your Charms account is where you will go to find out information about your rental instrument, if you rented an instrument from school, or your uniform to find out what size of uniform you've had from one year to the next. And it's also where your fundraising money is posted. So essentially Charms is an orchestra database. Each student will have a login and a password, and then of course you can add yourself as the parent, and that way you can log in to find out how much money is in your student account, or if your student has checked out a uniform and those types of things. The Remind app, I believe that is just like what most teachers use in middle school and high school. I haven't set up each code yet, but there is a page on my teacher website, so you can go and double check to see which code is it's done by class period. We have an Instagram, a Twitter bird, and a Facebook account. The Instagram is myself and the historians. We have access to that account, so sometimes pictures can come from myself or the kids. The Twitter account is only myself, and the Facebook account is only myself. So if you could follow those accounts and visit the Google Classroom, maybe kind of play around on my teacher website, those are just some good ways to stay informed, to know what's going on. So your Charms account, your first time when you go to the website, it's going to ask for a school code, and there it is. Your student area password will be your school ID number. Your ID number is not going to change from middle school to high school, so it's the same thing. And then, of course, we already talked about the databases for your uniforms, instruments, financial reports, and there is some emails that go out through Charms from time to time. The Remind app, these are text messages that will come directly from me. Oftentimes I send out Google Forms through the Remind app. If there's changes going on to this or that, or if we have to cancel something that has to be done immediately, I use the Remind app. I don't have all of the code set up, But once we know who's in what class and that kind of thing, then I'll throw up the codes. I'm just not ready to clear out the codes for the 2020 school year yet. Our calendar, every year I publish an Excel style calendar, just meaning that it has a column that has the date and the time, and that calendar is pretty much where we start. The problem with that calendar is that it doesn't change. And sometimes a circumstance happens that's out of my control, and I have to make a change. So that's where I ask everyone to follow our Google Calendar. There's a link to that off of my teacher website. That way, if I have to move a rehearsal or change a schedule or something, you can see it immediately when it happens on that Google Calendar or the Excel calendar. Of course, it's a hard copy calendar. We don't have a lot of things that change, but sometimes the inevitable happens. Along with staying informed, one of the big things to help a freshman be successful at Churchill is to plan ahead, to kind of foresee when conflicts are going to arise. I've been at Churchill for I think next year will be 17 years, and I know a lot of the people around, and I can tell you that all of us are more than willing to help a kid work around their schedule. We just have to know about it in advance. When a student comes up to me on the day of a concert and says, "Mr. T, I have a conflict," or if they go up to their coach on the day of a game and say, "Hey coach, I've got a conflict today," that's not the best scenario. We need to know about the conflicts weeks in advance so we can make plans. If we wait until the last minute, it's pretty difficult to make a plan that's beneficial for everyone. These next couple slides are about our Churchill Orchestra Booster Association. Most often you will see that notated as COBA, C-O-B-A. And this is the groups of mom and dads that take care of us. So here is their purpose. Essentially, they support myself and Mr. Norton and all of the children in the Churchill Orchestra program financially and with supervision and organizing different activities. Things that COBA is going to pay for. In the beginning of the year, every kid will receive a red or a black binder, depending on their class period. COBA pays for all the binders. We go through a lot of pencils throughout the year and a lot of highlighters. They provide all of our colored paper and our the ink for the printers. Whenever we do have like a children's concert, next year will be a Dude Ranch year where we travel and we do children's shows out in the hill country. COBA pays for the rental of those costumes. Also, when we do Peter and the Wolf every November, they cover that as well. COBA runs a very nice website now where you can pay for things online, that kind of stuff. When we keep a pretty steady supply of Band-Aids in the orchestra room. Also, when we travel and we have to keep basic medical supplies with us, COBA pays for that. Every year, the COBA gives the orchestra a big event. Last year, they purchased large shelvings for the new room, and then we're hoping that we can get the customized cello rack coming up soon. These are just a couple of our activities throughout the year that the parents help us with. The freshman pool party, they help us find a venue, and a lot of times it's the dads that get together and run a barbecue pit for us, hot dogs and hamburgers, pretty basic kind of stuff. Dinner theater is our big fundraiser in October. The kids provide the show, and the parents run the actual dinner portion and the silent auction that goes on in the back, and it takes a lot of volunteers to make that happen. The holiday concert, they provide the candy canes that Mr. Claus and Mrs. Claus get to hand out, and also the white roses for the seniors. Our end of the year banquet, COBA covers a portion of the venue and the DJ, and COBA pays for the meals for all of our seniors. Different times during the year we have to provide like a dinner or a lunch for our kids. So COBA's always there to provide that, and you can kind of read on to see what all the Booster Club is providing for us. Every year, graduating seniors can apply for the Pamela Sue Sweet Elizondo Scholarship. Those are typically $1,000 each. The money from the silent auction and the bake sale goes directly into this scholarship. And it says, you know, we give in between 6 to 10. Some years we give 4, some years we get 6. It just kind of depends on the number of seniors, and it really depends a lot on the number or the amount of money that we make during our silent auction. Some ways that we would like for you to help is our orchestra, as the Churchill High School Orchestra, we do not have an organizational fee. So I am never going to say if you want to be an orchestra, it's going to cost you X amount of dollars. There are some fees that are involved. If you don't have an instrument and you have to use a school instrument, that's a $30 rental fee. If you don't have an instrument, every student will have to pay a $10 fee for their uniforms. That helps me cover cost of repairs and, of course, the dry cleaning at the end of the year. Other than those two fees, we really don't have an organizational fee where I say if you're going to be in the Churchill Orchestra, it's going to cost you $200. But what we ask is that you do become a member of the Churchill Orchestra Booster Association. And then you can kind of read here the different things that your membership will help you with. And then we always need help with chaperones. The orchestra kids are some of the best and brightest students you're ever going to see. But it's always nice to have an extra set of eyes to help watch the kids to make sure that they're getting everything they need. This is the website to our Churchill Orchestra Booster Association. If you are interested in volunteering, or if you have questions about becoming a member of COBA, please send Mr. Thibodeau an email. That's jthibo@neist.net, so I can help put you in the right direction. I hope that we don't have to use this video, but in the event that we do have to use the video, I hope it's a little bit helpful. Help make you feel a little bit better about the upcoming school year. Thank you.